preserving the family and preserving the farm, because they actually go hand in hand. So I've had quite a few farm clients lately. I didn't know I was going to be such a farm girl. I've ruined a few good pairs of high heels. That's the only downfall. But helping some families along the way with their legacy. So one aspect of that is the fact that we want to try to preserve the land and the use of the land as a farm. And in some cases it makes sense, in some cases it doesn't with the economic environment. So one family the first family I like to talk about, very hardworking Century Farm, which is a farm that's been in the family for 100 years.
Wow.
Just award-winning farm, but just couldn't make the economics work anymore. And the next generation are very accomplished in their own right and not looking to be the 4 a.m. farmers. So what they did was to make a residential development, which was, and just basically abandon the farm use. But the conflict here is, how are we going to get this farm to the next, which is now converted to a very successful residential development, to the next generation? And what we use is techniques using LLCs, one LLC to operate the farm, the now housing, and the second technique, the second LLC to hold the land. And then this way we can not only protect liability, but use these LLCs to keep the land in the bloodline. So by having rights of first refusal and the LLC agreement and buyback provision, that preserves it through to the next generation and the grandchildren's generation. These LLCs are wonderful structures to be able to have a put in them, which basically allows us to gift to the following generations and get an appreciating asset out of the estate of the patriarchs of the family. So we can do gifting at the end of the year, so that we can use one appraisal to do gifting in both December and then January again, and get these percentages using the annual exclusion as well as the federal exemption to the next generation of the family. So that allows for getting an appreciating asset out of the estate of the founding generation. Another strategy, another layer of entity, if you will, is a voting trust. So in order to, in this family, there are 3 branches of the family, and by putting the LLC interest into this voting trust, and it can be used for land or a building, any type of real estate, the voting trust allows all of the interests in the LLC to be in one entity and to vote, so that trustee of that trust will vote that block of shares, if you will. And being that there's 3, there's a natural tiebreaker, and then we don't have someone with 11% interest wanting to sell the land or sell the building, or arguing or wanting to lease, and then someone in another family, a cousin or another relatives having 15% and then having splintering of interests.